All right, we have made it to the semi-finals, and we've got a couple of banger matchups. The main one being Djokovic versus Zverev. We're going to break this match down. This is the more competitive, I think, semi-final on the men's side, and it's a huge match for both guys. Both guys are going to win the title, and will this match affect their chances at doing so, even if they win? We're going to talk about their past matchups, what they're going to have to do in this match to win and get through. We're also going to break down Sinner versus Shelton. It's going to be high flying, high powered, and it's going to be exciting. So let's get into it. This is the slice presented by Betway. It's the Australian Open. We're tired. Let's keep it going. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's semifinal time. The blood pressure is rising. Djokovic has beaten Alcaraz. That's over. We reviewed that. We broke it down. We did an analysis on the channel. If you haven't seen that already, check it out. And we've got the final four. We've got Sinner, who's through destroying Alex de Minaur. JP on our channel just released a reaction to de Minaur going after Pavi G on Twitter after he was calling him out. That was hilarious. Check that out. Shelton's through to play Sinner on the top half semifinal, and Djokovic is through Alcaraz. Zverev is through Tommy Paul on the bottom to get there. This is where we're at. We've got the full breakdown there, and yeah, the four last men standing. I think three of them were we thought would happen maybe before the tournament. Zverev there, Djokovic beating Alcaraz. That was the real big question. We thought Sinner would be there for sure, but Ben Shelton's had a great run, American, into the semifinal of the Australian Open. So yeah, if you're new here, welcome to The Slice. I'm Stephen Boughton, the host and founder of The Slice. Please do us a favor and subscribe. We are about to pass over to 20,000, and I think you can do it with this video. So we appreciate your support. And let's get into it. The match, the first one we have to talk about, Djokovic versus Zverev. Djokovic is the big question with him, obviously, is how fit is he? Is that groin, the upper thigh, whatever type of injury he seemed to have picked up during the Alcaraz match going to be there? If it is, I think that's a big problem. Zverev, to me, he looks amazing. He looks maybe the best he's ever looked. He's 27 years old, which I have read, I believe in textbooks when I was younger, which is your physical prime as an athlete. 27 years old, physical prime, well past his ankle roll. And in this matchup, it's interesting. The head-to-head right now is 8-4 for Djokovic. And they haven't played much, though, in recent years. The last match they played was 2023 Cincinnati. And then before that, they played 5 times in 2021. Zverev winning 2 of those, Djokovic winning 3. Djokovic winning at the Australian Open in 4 sets, also at the ATP Cup in 3 sets, and Zverev winning at the Olympics, famously in the semifinal. Djokovic winning at the US Open in the semifinal, and then Zverev winning in the Nitto ATP finals in the semifinal. So interestingly, those were all hard courts, 5 matches on hard courts. But the point is they haven't played a lot recently. So there's not super ton to go off since Djokovic hasn't won a major since 2023. And yeah, Zverev's been getting better and better, in my opinion. Now he's number 2 in the world. This is the highest he's ever been ranked. So your brain would think this is Zverev's time to beat Djokovic at a major. I don't believe he's ever beaten him at a major. And let's just check that just to be sure. Yes, he's only ever beat him in 3-set matches. So the question is this the time to do it? Some people would think yes. I'm pretty close to thinking less. I will give my prediction at the end of this video. So we're at the end of this review. So stay tuned for that. But there's going to be a few key pieces to this matchup, and we're going to break them down right now. So the first one to me is the Djokovic physical state. Like I mentioned earlier, if he's hampered by this injury, I think that's big trouble for Djokovic because their matches are physical. I was just watching their match with at the US Open 2021. Super physical, 5 sets. Zverev stays back, stays deep, plays the ball deep and hard from the baseline and likes to grind, likes to wear opponents down from the baseline. And Djokovic in that match was kind of appeasing that. This is a different court. This is a different tournament. This is a different age. They're both older now. So will they do that as much? Will it be as much of a physical match? I think Zverev's going to want to keep it that way, make it physical, especially if Djokovic is hurting. And Djokovic is going to probably incorporate more and more of what he even did in that match, which is serve and volley, come forward on his own terms, shrink the court, and make Zverev just work while trying to minimize the amount of damage he's doing to himself. So the Djokovic injury is going to play a lot into that. How's he feeling? How physical is the match going to be? Djokovic from the baseline, we'll get to serving, which is going to be a huge part of it. But from the baseline, Djokovic at the Australian Open has done the best job that anyone's ever done at using the speed to his advantage. He, I think, can rush Zverev for sure. From the return, he can get onto Zverev quickly. He can, while Zverev's still up at the baseline, he can try and get the ball past him from the return and from the third ball after that. He can, with his own serve, dominate because he's been really, really good on a serve. And against Alcaraz, he was. But from the baseline rallies, will Djokovic stay closer? I'm wondering if he's going to stay closer to the baseline than he did in the U.S. Open, where he was a bit further back and they kind of just both banged from deep behind the baseline and grinded it, or is he going to play with them? I have the feeling that because he's 2 years older, he's got the nagging injury, he's not going to want to do that as much. So I think he's going to be more aggressive and try and stay on the baseline and just push Zverev around. But we'll see how much Zverev lets him do that. By the way he's playing from the baseline and the way he's acting out of the serve return exchanges. So that's going to be interesting. The baseline patterns, obviously, both guys have amazing backhands. Both guys have Djokovic has a better forehand. Zverev's forehand can be great, obviously, but it also can give a lot of unforced errors. So that's a side that maybe Djokovic will be going up the line into with his backhand and going cross court heavy into. But yeah, they're both from both wings pretty solid, and when they're deep behind the baseline, both of them can make a ton of balls, obviously, and that's what we saw in some of their past matches when it's gotten super physical. The serve return, though, that's going to be huge. The Zverev serve, I think his serve is the second highest rated on tour, and if you look at all of his seasons on Tennis Abstract, his first serve percentage is currently in 2025 at 71.3%, which is the second highest it's ever been as an average. And he's winning the most percentage of first serves. I mean, it's a smaller sample size, but it's 77.3% of his first serves won, which is also the second highest it's ever been. So, and last year it was 76.8, so very high as well. So that's going to be huge. His serve, if he can serve, over 5 sets, a high amount of aces, kind of like between 5 to 10 aces per set. I mean, he's not going to have 50 aces. I mean, he could. Against it, for context, in the U.S. Open, he only had 16 aces. His first serve percentage was 62%, and he won 75% of those points. So his first serve getting in, that's about 10% lower than he's averaging right now. So I would expect his aces to be, if he wants to win, and needs to be, I think, above 25 or like 20 to 25. Over 5 sets, 16 aces is not a lot, right? That's only like 3 per set. So the serve return is going to be huge. How well will Djokovic serve with his second serve? Hitting it big against Alcaraz, picking his spots well. Zverev historically has done pretty well actually on the Djokovic second serve. Zverev does well at reading second serves and attacking them, not being super aggressive, but winning a lot of those points on the second serve because he gets the ball in good spots and then works from there. So that's going to be interesting to see. But really, I think this match is going to come down to who serves better and is Djokovic physically fit. If he's not, I think Zverev wins this match for sure. I think Zverev can win this match. I really do think he can in general. And in my prediction, I think he actually will win the match. My prediction would be Zverev in 4 or 5. I know it's psychotic to pick against Djokovic twice, but I just really feel like this is the time. 27 years old. This is his prime. Djokovic doesn't seem fully healthy from his last match. And we'll see. I'm not confident enough to title the video Zverev will beat Djokovic. I'll save that for the final. But it's going to be interesting because even if Djokovic does win, when they played in the US Open 2021, Djokovic beat Zverev in 5 sets and then lost to Medvedev in the final. It's a very physical match, takes a lot out of you. Djokovic, I don't think he's going to want to do that again. So if he's going to win, I think he's going to try and do it quicker than 4 or 5 sets. And that could backfire. You never know. That could, if Djokovic isn't playing well and he's putting out a lot of errors, I think Zverev is as confident as he's ever been. He's serving the best he's ever has, and he's the highest ranked he's ever been. So he's in the best place ever. And if there was ever going to be a time he'd beat him, you'd think it would be now. Maybe there's a little letdown for Djokovic after beating Alcaraz. I don't know, but that's my prediction. Zverev in 4 or 5. Not super confident in it, but you got to make a pick. Okay, let's go on to Sinner versus Ben Shelton. I mean, this one's not, I don't have too much to say about this one. Ben Shelton's going to have to play the match of his life to beat Sinner, straight up. He has beaten him before back in 2023 at the Shanghai Masters in 3 sets. But since then, they've played 4 times, and Shelton hasn't won a set against them. At Wimbledon last year, Sinner beat him in 3 sets, 6-2, 6-4, 7-6. And in my mind, there's like a good chance with the way that Sinner just played Alex de Minaur that he could routine Ben. So it's big server Ben who likes to come forward and play the full court versus the most deadly baseline player that maybe the hard courts have seen in a while since prime Djokovic. Like, he is just absolutely chewing people up from the baseline. He's on it. His serve looks amazing. His return's amazing. So the Sinner return is one of the best on tour. So that's going to do damage against the Ben Shelton serve. And then Sinner's own serve is amazing. And Ben Shelton's return is really lacking. So I just think it's going to be so hard for Ben to get any looks on the Sinner serve. And then Sinner will get looks on the Ben Shelton serve and make him feel the pain. So yeah, I think Sinner in 3, maybe 4. But yeah, that's this match is gonna be, I would put a lot of my money on Betway if I was gonna do that on Sinner making the final through Ben Shelton. I don't know really what else much more there is to talk about it. If Ben's going to win, he's going to have to serve extremely well, handle his own serve, and then just be, I think, be aggressive. That's like such a classic thing to say, but like anytime he's making a good first serve, can he take a volley out of the air on the next ball? Can he get to net in a confident way? Yeah, he's going to get past. Then rushing the net and being an aggressive net player is a numbers game. Can you win 60% of your points at net? If so, then you should come to net every single point. But people get past once or twice and they're like, I'm scared to come to net now. It's like, if you're going to commit to the game of trying to rush someone like Jannik Sinner, you're going to get past a lot. But if you can do it in a smart way and do it behind your serve a lot, I think that's the only way that Shelton has an ability to hurt Sinner. He can't do it from the baseline, and he can't do it on the return. So it's going to be, an uphill battle for Shelton, but it's going to be interesting to watch for sure to see how it all plays out. So anyways, that's a preview. Djokovic, Zverev, Sinner, Shelton. I'm picking Zverev and Sinner to win, but obviously Djokovic is a master on this court, so it's really just a slight leaning towards Zverev. We will see how it goes. I just have the feeling that it's kind of Zverev's time to join the party and actually make a step up, and then we'll see what he can do in the finals if he's to play Sinner, like I predict he will. So anyways, that's a preview and prediction from me, Stephen Boughton, here at The Slice. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting us to 20,000 subscribers. Here's to 40,000. We appreciate you. Stay tuned to The Slice on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram for updates, for news, for analysis, and interviews with the best pros in the world like Denis Shapovalov, Felix Auger-Aliassime recently. We will see you next time here on the show.